Hey you guys, so I am back answering frequently asked questions that I tend to get in my DMs or in email, and today I'm talking about money. Something that I get asked a lot is how do you go about pricing your art or your offerings? How do you make those decisions? And I've broken it down into three major things that are super important to me and the way that I go about my business and setting prices, how I move throughout my business when it comes to money. Okay, so let me just give a little bit of background that will probably provide context for the things I'm gonna share with you guys. As many of you know, I wanted to be an artist my entire life. That was my big dream. I went to college, studied painting and printmaking, but I had a huge wake-up call. It didn't come easy for me. It took me 15 plus years to get to the point where I could eventually walk away from my office jobs, my day jobs, and work as a full-time artist. Thankfully, that's what I've been doing for the last 11 years, and I'm so blessed to be running a creative, wonderful, successful business. I never thought I would get to this point in a million years. I just wanted to pay bills. That was it. I didn't really care. I just wanted to make art. But something I've discovered along the way is that I don't quite fit into what other people and how other people run a business or view art or view money. And I think a big piece of that is because I grew up quite poor, to be really honest with you. My parents were both artists. They ran a business from home, and there were high highs and low lows when it came to money. And I've carried with me my entire life this experience of living in lack, of not having a lot, not being able to afford a lot. As much as I would probably like to shake that feeling, it has been at the foundation of every single thing that I do with my art. So my philosophy on money, while I fully accept and embrace abundance, I love it, it's really nice, I actually am somebody who really sees things through the eyes still of a person that struggled most of their life financially, and it has influenced and still continues to influence the way that I run my business and the way that I set my prices. So just know when I give you guys a little bit of advice, this is where I'm coming from, and I don't fit in with my peers and in the world that I work in. But I've never fit in with anybody. I'm that person that's zigging when everybody's zagging. I'm probably going to be giving advice that is the opposite of lots of business advisors and successful creative entrepreneurs. But honestly, guys, I don't care. I feel like I need to be a voice, a different voice out there. So if you are like me and you're struggling or thinking about these things, you just know there's someone else out there that has these views. So here's the three things that are big for me when it comes to pricing art or pricing my services or moving throughout my creative business. Number one, I think it's so important to really get clear on what your philosophy is on money and making money. So I can remember back in college, I had the most intense argument with my painting teacher who was telling me that when you're an artist, you have to know your worth and you need to sell things and price them expensive, because if you sell them for cheap, people won't take you seriously. You'll never have your art hanging in galleries. And I remember I was so upset by this because I had grown up quite poor. I'm like, but what about people who don't have money and want to buy art or want to be an artist or want to experience creativity? So it ended up being a really good debate. I was only 18 at the time. I'm 44 now. It has influenced every single step of my entire journey because I have not once wavered from that perspective. In my heart, in my soul, my philosophy is that no matter what your economic status is, creativity changes lives. And if I can be providing something that most people can afford, my life is complete. So I don't care about the big ticket item. I don't care about being in a fancy gallery. I don't care about having a fancy reputation. I just want to affect people with creativity. Done. That's my philosophy. And that influences everything else that comes after. So for me, really identifying that at a young age has helped me when it comes to money. I'm not swaying. I still have this debate with people. I've been told a gazillion times, you need to be charging more. I'm like, nope. I want to affect as many people as possible. And the more expensive I go, I'm not able to do that. So it's either free or something at a reasonable price. So that's my philosophy, and nobody has to agree with it. A lot of people don't agree with it. But somebody out there might need to hear that if you kind of fall into the same lines as me, it is possible to build a successful business with this mentality. It's a lot of work, but if you stick to your philosophy, your foundation, your heart, your soul, I just believe you can't go wrong with being true to yourself. So really figuring out what you believe, what is at your core when it comes to money is going to have to be the first step in identifying like what kind of artist you want to be, what kind of creative business you want to have, how much money do you want, what are you willing to charge people? It really comes down to what you believe when it comes to money. Number two, when it comes to pricing things, I always ask people when I'm consulting, do you need to make money? There's a lot of creatives out there that just want to make stuff. They don't want to put a price tag on it because that changes the whole game. Then there's a lot of people who are using their gifts and talents and passions for extra income as a side hustle to provide for their family. So really knowing like what you need to make is going to help you price this stuff moving forward. Back when I had jobs and a side hustle, I didn't need to make a bunch of money. I was really experimenting and figuring out where my place was with art while I was paying the bills with my day job. These days, I need to pay the bills with what I do. I am the breadwinner. There is no backup. There's no safety net. This is what I do for a living. So I have a little bit different of approach because I know how much we need in order to survive and pay stuff off, all that good stuff. But really being able to identify, like, do you need money? How much do you need? Do you need $100 a month to pay an extra bill? Do you need $2,000 a month to pay your rent? Whatever the number, setting out and really identifying it is going to help you figure things out, get organized when it comes to setting prices with a lot of that art or services or things that you put out there. And those things will evolve and change. My numbers change and evolve year to year. They kind of evolve with what we have going on in our life, goals that we have for our family or personal life. We might need more one year and way less another year. We might want to donate a lot one year, like this year. And then other years we might be saving, those types of things. And then if you're somebody that kind of doesn't want to make money, but you want to put your art out there, take the money out of it and just put your art out there. It's not always about money. For many years for me, I wasn't looking to make money. I was looking to practice and get feedback and experiment and mess around with different creative outlets. So you really have to take time to identify, like, how much do you need in your life when it comes to pricing your art and what you want to get from the things that you're offering and putting out there. And then my last big thing that I always keep in the forefront of my mind when it comes to pricing is, who do I want to affect in this world? This is really, again, another really personal take on running a business and pricing things. But for me, it plays into my philosophy. I want to affect as many people as possible. I don't just want people with money. No offense to those of you who follow me who have a lot of income. I love you guys, but I want to affect people that don't have a lot of income. I've got high school students taking my classes. I have college students watching my free videos. Like, I want to affect people that don't have a lot of money, if you guys want me to be really honest with you. And most people, if they're in business, would probably look at that and go, yeah, that's probably not a smart way to run a business. Well, for 11 years, I've been making a steady, great income on this philosophy, and it really works for me. So I think you've got to really figure out, who's your crowd? Who are your people? Are you wanting to appeal to maybe a higher income crowd? Are you wanting to appeal to just a whole huge diverse crowd? Really figuring out who you want to affect, who you want your customers to be, is going to help you set those prices and really start carving out a good understanding of what you think and feel about money when it comes to a creative business. So my 3 tips are not specific. There's zero formula involved. You're probably not going to get that from me. There's a million other resources to find things like that. What I want you guys to think about is who you are, what your heart tells you, what you feel on the inside. And though you can't run a business strictly based on your heart and your soul, I believe that when you are in a good place, when you know who you are, when you know the things you want in life and you've got them aligned, things are going to start to fall into place. You can start adding those business formulas into the whole equation. I actually want to challenge you guys and get you thinking in maybe a different way when it comes to being an artist, working as an artist, pricing that artwork, and just how you move throughout the world with your creative business. And as always, if you have questions or things you want me to talk about on video, feel free to DM me or email me. I'm always looking for things to talk about. So hope you're having a great day, and thanks for tuning in. Okay, bye.